Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Welcome for the most important sessions of this Gita course called The Mind Control and Regulated Lifestyle. Generally, this session is a very, very highly sought after session because people are troubled with their mind and people are a little bit struggling in their lifestyle, suffering from so many lifestyle issues and problems and diseases. So what Bhagavad Gita has to offer for this topic, we will now explore that. If you can hear me clearly and if you can see me clearly, please raise your hands. Okay, thank you. I just hope that I'm clear and properly visible to everybody. We'll start today's session with, as usual, some kirtan. The text is displayed on the mobile, on your mobile or on your laptop. You can just try to see it and follow with me. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Punyavadi Bhashatyadeshatarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Bhashatyadeshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Jai Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Gopi Jan Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Gopi Jan Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braj Jan Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanchari Yashodanandana Braj Jan Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanchari Jai Radha Madhava कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। युग धर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। So today's session is a very, very wonderful session. And as all the other sessions, this session is dedicated to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Whatever I speak in these sessions is based on the teachings, the lectures, and the books written by Srila Prabhupada. Whatever I have been speaking and trying to impart to all of you through my discussions and through my talks is what I've learned from my seniors, my spiritual master, and my spiritual grandfather, Srila Prabhupada. So I dedicate these sessions in honor of the senior authorities from whom I have learned. I'm just like a postman trying to present what I've heard from them as it is. So I'll offer some pranam mantras in their honor, seeking their blessings. These are auspicious invocations. We have shared these pranam mantras in a PDF file with all of you. If you have that handy, please open it. If you don't, then you can just close your eyes, join your hands, and try to hear this and absorb this sound vibration as much as possible. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langhayate Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Harihi Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. So welcome all of you to this wonderful session of the Gita course. Happens to be the 6th session, and we are discussing mind control and regulated lifestyle. But before we go there, let's spend 2 or 3 minutes trying to understand what we have covered in the previous session. That is the recap. The recap was, the name of the previous session was Do I Need a Guide? And we saw that knowledge actually means character, good character, and sense control. And sense control is difficult. Example, jumping off from the cliff. So we have only control before jumping off from the cliff. Once the process starts, then it's very difficult. But coming back to the first point, coming back to the point of the guidance, we saw that our attitude stops us from taking guidance. All great people understand that they are not beyond guidance and therefore they seek guidance. But when we approach a guide, we should first know who is a guide. What we saw the definitions of guru. Generally, we should go to a guru or a guide not for getting money or not for becoming healthy or not for getting any name and fame. The job of a guru or a guide is to help one come out of the cycle of birth, disease, old age, and death and go back home, back to God. So don't approach a sadhu for saying that please bless me so that I can get a son, or please bless me so that I can get a promotion. We should not approach a sadhu for all that. And we understood that sense control is needed, otherwise the knowledge may leak out. So if you have a pot which is full of water, but if there are holes in the pot, then all the water will leak out. Similarly, if we have so much knowledge, when I say knowledge, I strictly speak of spiritual knowledge, because mundane knowledge will end with the end of the body. But spiritual knowledge moves with us life after life. And if we perfect the spiritual knowledge, then we go back home, back to Godhead. So if we engage in sense gratification and no sense control, then all this knowledge will leak out, basically. We will continue doing sense gratificatory activities, such as meat eating, gambling, intoxication, and illicit sex activities. And these, according to the scriptures, are universally sinful. And these sinful activities are the main cause of our remaining stuck in this material world and not being engaged at a transcendental platform in the service of Guru and Krishna. So we have to stop it. Srila Prabhupada says in his lectures, one cannot be sinful as well as God conscious at the same time. It's not possible. So sense control is very, very important. And we saw the qualities of a real sadhu, and we understood that what is the difference between a fake sadhu and a real sadhu, exploiting gurus, free advice gurus, and then actual guru. And I'll again revisit the point of the attitude of taking guidance. We are taught in our schools that being wrong is bad, or not being able to answer something is bad, or being, not being fully independent is bad. If you ask for help, that is bad. Such kind of notions are sometimes fed into our education, because of which we hesitate to take guidance. We become arrogant. We are ready to suffer endlessly and be beaten into a pulp by the laws of material nature, but we don't take guidance. We artificially think that I'm enjoying and I'm happy. Actually, we are suffering very, very badly. But we falsely proclaim that I'm happy. No matter what I'm going through, my Facebook wallpaper or status or my WhatsApp status update will be saying that life is so perfect. So that is our situation. We don't want to take guidance. We don't want to accept the reality. And we keep feeding ourselves with false hopes and false reality. And in that way, we are struggling. We think that taking guidance from someone is a disgrace. So therefore, we don't do that. We don't want to surrender to a guru. One of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada once approached him and told, Srila Prabhupada, I have so many problems and obstacles in my spiritual life. What to do? So Srila Prabhupada said, whatever is that obstacle, with one kick of my stick, it will be thrown out of your life, provided you are ready to follow my instructions. So that is the potency of surrendering to a bona fide spiritual master. We discussed so many qualities of a real sadhu, and in that we found this Titikshvaka, Karunika, Suhrida, Sarvadehinam, Ajat, Shatrava, Shanta, Sadhava, Sadhu, Bhushanam. These 6 qualities of a sadhu we saw. Titikshvaka, tolerant. Karunika, merciful. Titikshvaka, Karunika, Suhrida, friend of all living entities. Titikshvaka, Karunika, Suhrida, Sarvadehinam, Ajat, Shatrava, Shantaha. One who does not see anybody as his enemy, very peaceful, follows or lives by the Vedic scriptures, and has all characteristics which are sublime. These are the qualities of a sadhu, and we, in our discussion, we found that all this and even more qualities were exhibited by Srila Prabhupada in a very short span of time. He is the Acharya of the Krishna consciousness movement, who very selflessly, without any personal agenda or motivation, preached the science of Krishna consciousness, preached the science of Bhagavad Gita on the order of his spiritual master. He did not want to become famous, or he did not want to sell a mantra for $15 or $30 and become rich and things like that. In an advanced age of 70, he went to the West and he tried to preach selflessly the message of Krishna consciousness, and he tried to give as it is knowledge of the Krishna consciousness which is coming down in parampara. We saw that Srila Prabhupada was an old man, not very strong and capable, having a heavy old Indian man kind of an accent, coughing, not the best of the orators or the speakers. Not, of course, in old days, nobody looks good also. But still, he was able to attract people from all over the world. He did not pay any salary to anybody that I will give you these many dollars, you just become my follower. No, people voluntarily surrendered to him. And who were these people? Not Indians who knew what is Krishna and Krishna consciousness to a huge degree. These were Westerners who had no idea. The hippie movement was going on, the counterculture movement was going on, and Srila Prabhupada just walked in the middle of it and changed the whole fate and face of the situation. One of the New York Times Square article read, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, replaces LSD. So that was the article of the newspaper headlines. So that was the impact of this Hare Krishna movement all over the world, and it spread like wildfire. In 12 years, there were 108 temples in different parts of the world. And wherever you would go, there would be people chanting Hare Krishna, singing and dancing. He wrote 87 books. He traveled endlessly. He initiated disciples. He gave so much teaching, exposed or introduced the culture of the Sanatana Dharma to everybody. And I had also sent a small note on the life sketch of Srila Prabhupada. Hope all of you have read it. So with this, we finish the recapitulation of the previous session and we move towards today's session. And the agenda for today is as follows. Today's agenda looks very brief, but actually it's very deep. We'll try to understand what is the nature of the mind, what is regulation of the mind, and what's mind's idea of happiness. And of course, we'll give a practical tip of the day, which can make our life happy. So hope you're all ready for this discussion. This is a very, very important discussion. It concerns each and every one without exception. I repeat, this concerns each and every one without exception, because all of us have a mind and everybody's mind is troublesome. So if you're ready for this discussion, please raise your hands so that I can get to know. In the meantime, I'll have some water. So I see many, many sincere seekers, sincere students of Bhagavad Gita. In fact, now I should say sincere students of Srila Prabhupada, who are very eager to have these discussions. Thank you. You can please lower your hands now and we'll proceed with the discussion. Hare Krishna. Nature of the mind. Please mark my words when I say mind is the most powerful material element. In the previous sessions, I have always said that mind, you are not the mind. You are not the body. You are not the intelligence. You are the spirit soul. When I have said that, I've made it very clear that if you are not the mind, you are not the body, you are not the intelligence, you are the spirit soul. That means you, as an existing living entity, sentient living entity, are a spirit soul. So therefore, you are not the mind. And if you are the spirit soul, that means mind is not spiritual, but material. So if there is any organization or any so-called pseudo-spiritual practice which aims at calming the mind or simply doing some kind of speculative void and null meditation and telling you that this is a spiritual thing, then you should know it in your heart that that is a cheater, or this process is a cheating process, because mind has nothing, is not a spiritual living entity. It's presently this mind is the material. And the proof of this statement, what is the praman? What I'm saying? Am I saying something? I'm simply saying that others are wrong, I'm right. We have heard so many people saying that they are wrong, I'm right, but I'm not simply saying that I'm right and they are wrong. I'm speaking on the basis of Bhagavad Gita chapter 7, shloka number 4. Krishna says, Bhumir apo analo vayu kham mano buddhirevacha ahankara itiyam me bhinna prakritir ashtadha. So earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego are my separated material energies, Krishna says. Krishna says this is a material energy. But we living entities are marginal spiritual energies. So Krishna has three kinds of potencies. He has unlimited multifarious potencies, but if you broadly classify them, then they can be classified into three kinds of energies. Internal energy of Krishna, external energy of Krishna, and the marginal energy of Krishna. Internal energy of Krishna is basically the paraphernalia of Krishna, the dham of Krishna, the eternal associates of Krishna. They are internal energy of Krishna. External energy is earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. And we as Jivatmas, we are the marginal living entities. We live on the border. Depending on which energy of Krishna we take shelter of, we end up being situated in that region. For example, if I take shelter of the material energy, then I become a materialist. And I continue to stay in the material world for time immemorial, slogging, suffering. If I take shelter of the internal daivim prakriti, or the spiritual energy, spiritual subject matters, daivim, internal energy of Krishna, like the Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavatam, the holy name of Krishna, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Association with the devotees, like-minded devotees of Krishna, partaking, honoring Krishna Prasad, following of four relative principles. If I do all these things, then I take shelter of the Devam Prakriti, or the internal energy of Krishna, and I go back home, back to God. So just like the sea beach, sometimes the sea beach is dry, sometimes the sea beach is covered with water. So that is our situation. We are marginal. Antaranga Shakti is there, internal energy. Bahiranga Shakti is there, which is the material world and the material universes. And we are Tatastha Shakti, or marginal energy. So amongst the material elements, that is earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego, when the mind is not trained properly, then it is the most powerful element. That means it has the capacity to fully destroy anybody's existence. Why do you think there are so many species of 84 lakh species of living entities existing? Because they all weren't able to control their minds, so they ended up doing things which are stupid, horrible, abominable, not sanctioned by the Bhagavad Gita, and therefore, as a result of that, they are in various kinds of bodies right now. So it is their mind which brought them into that situation. You see a pigeon. A pigeon is a bird which has which mates. A male pigeon mates with the female pigeon 18 times a day. So that's a very, very disturbed state of consciousness. So how do you think that soul got that body? They couldn't control their mind. A hog or a pig, 24 hours keeps looking for stool, all day and all night. So how do you think they got into that kind of a body? Because their mind brought them into that condition. So what is the proof that there is transmigration of soul, and what is the proof that there are higher laws of material nature? Daiva netrena prakriti. Daiva netrena, how everything happens under the divine jurisdiction of the divine laws of nature, which is actually controlled by the representatives of Krishna, like the demigods and others. So what is the proof of that? The proof is that there are 84 lakh species of living entities. And they have ended in those bodies because they behaved like that because of the ruling of their mind. So that is the point which I'm trying to make, that one may think that what can the mind may do most to me? It can make me a beggar. Even if you become a beggar with a begging bowl naked on the street, if you're thinking that after that the mind will stop disturbing you, you're wrong. The mind will continue to further degrade you. Even if you become an amoeba, even in that state, the mind will further degrade you if not controlled properly. So that's why I say mind is the most powerful material element. So this is the most illustrious shloka of today's session. Bhagavad Gita 6.6. You can all take a note. It is very much appreciated and recommended if you also carry a notebook and a pen, or somehow if you keep taking notes, then it will be very good. Bandhur atmatmanastasya yenatmaivatmana jitah anatmanastu shatrutve varte tatmaiva shatruvat. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of the friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. So some people say there is no need to control the mind. So that means they are staying with an enemy 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Now, how wise is that proposition or this proposal? That all the time I'm staying with my enemy. What can my enemy do? My enemy can slit my throat also. Literally, we have seen people going crazy and they slit off their nerves in the arms. They slit off their own throat. Some people take a gun and shoot themselves. So mind is subtle. You cannot see the mind, but the mind is very, very much doing a lot of damage. So if we choose to stay with an enemy all the time, then we will get harmed. However, if we learn how to regulate this mind or control this mind, then the mind cooperates with us and becomes our best friend. Somehow, as I'm speaking to you, one of the plays, I saw one drama. The name of the drama was Me and My Mind. Our friends had enacted that drama. At that time, I was not a Gita course instructor, and I was pretty much new to Krishna consciousness. So we had done that drama, Me and My Mind. I'll take a note somewhere that I have to share that drama with you. Simply, if you see that drama, things will become very clear how the mind works. And in that small 15-minute or 10 to 15 minutes act, we have tried to show what should be done to control the mind. So that drama is the gist of today's session. So I'll try to share that with you. In case if I forget, then I will request any of my Gita course associates to remind me so that I can share that. So this is the point. Bandhur atmat manastasya yenat maivat manajitah anatmanastu shatrutve vartitatmaiva shatruvat. One who controls the mind is the best of the friends. One who does not, mind becomes the greatest enemy. And Krishna says, Mamaivam Mamaiva. There are many meters in which you can recite this shloka. One of the meters was the previous one. I'll now recite a new meter. Mamaivam Sho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha Manashasthani Indriani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. This is one meter. Another meter can be Mamaivaamsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha Manashasthani Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. This is another meter. So like this, there can be many meters. Mamaivaamsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha Manashasthani Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. So different meters, they fit different verses. It is not appropriate to use all the meters in one verse. Actually, in the Bhagavatam, in the Bhagavad Gita, there is different formation of different verses containing different number of words. So some word meter fits in a particular pattern of a verse. So for this verse, maybe we can take the standard one. What is that? Mamay Vamsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhutah Sanatanaha. So we'll stick to this meter. And our volunteers, my previous year Gita course students, they are also sending you the same meter, I suppose, for recitation and learning. So here what Krishna is saying, the living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with six senses, which include the mind. Proof, I have been saying all the time, we are part and parcels of Krishna. What is the proof? This shloka is the proof. Mamay Vamsha Jiva Loke. The living entities are my eternal fragmental parts. And they are staying in this conditioned world, Loke. Manashasthani Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. Including the mind and the other six senses, they are struggling very hard. So minds are framed to like and dislike some things. In one part of the world, I don't know, somehow Krishna gave me an opportunity to travel a lot. So I was not like a weekend traveler or going for one day and moving around, walking around the riverside and then going to the news. I actually got to stay in every place for some time and learn and understand the mentality of the people there and see what is that culture. So from my experiences, I'll tell you, this world is all about eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And the people of this world are simply trying to do this single activity in different ways. So in one of the places where I went, the custom was, if anybody who does not drink beer and who does not eat beer and barbecue, they used to call. If somebody does not do beer and barbecue, then nobody associates with that person, nobody invites that person home, nobody talks to that person in office and outside office also. And in all the places that person is left alone. Why? Because he doesn't do B&B, beer and barbecue. And everybody used to genuinely think like that. And they would give me so many reasons that how a person who doesn't drink beer is actually a degraded person, and so many reasons they used to give me. And a person who doesn't eat beef is missing something in life, like that they used to explain to me. But since I was a student of Bhagavad Gita, I knew that it is not I am who is wrong, but it is they who are terribly, terribly wrong. They are just waiting to quit their body, and after that, not just even within this life, they are getting horrible results of doing all these things. But after this life, something else is planned for them. Just like an ignorant, arrogant student can waste his time and be happy only as long as the results of the exam do not come out. When the results come out, then the misery really starts. So similarly, death is the final exam. And after this final exam, the real music begins. So anybody who is ignoring this exam is really foolish. So when I was living in that kind of a society or a setup, I was fully ignored. Nobody used to talk to me. And they were ignoring me, not talking to me. And they're also calling me that I'm a loner. So why? Because their mind was conditioned to think that anybody who does not do B&B is bad. Just like advertisements. क्या आपके टूथपेस्ट में नमक है? God knows what is there in my toothpaste, first of all. But now, because I have heard this so many times, I start thinking, if there is no namak in my toothpaste, then probably it is not good. I told you in one of the sessions, I think that refrigerators are being sold to Eskimos who stay in the igloos in the Antarctic regions. Now, what is the need of a refrigerator? If you do not have such and such product, you are not a man. And this kind of advertisements are going on. So they basically tune the mind to believe into something. They program the mind to believe into something. And then the mind starts thinking, this is the reality and this is how it has to be. क्या आपके toothpaste में नमक है? If there is no namak in your toothpaste, that means it is not a toothpaste. Throw it away. And find out the toothpaste in which there is namak. Only then you can brush, otherwise you are not a man. So, so that is how our minds are being tuned and programmed by advertisement. The advertisement, what is an advertisement? It is basically the application of this principle, Prakriti Sthani Karshati. So due to these 6 elements, the senses which are being lured by what so many things which we hear and see all around us, we are struggling very hard. So that is the situation of existence in the material world. And I could find a picture which shows the struggle. When I had initially come to Bangalore, me and my friends had rented one place to stay. And I had a friend who always used to say that today I'm going to buy something from the shopping mall. And he used to say that I need these 2 things. He used to very religiously write and take. I'm talking as early as 2012 in those times. So he used to write and take. But when he used to come back, apart from the things, or sometimes he would miss the things which he had to buy, but he would end up bringing things which he doesn't need. And that's how the operation malls are designed. Suppose if you want bread and butter, so they'll keep bread in one corner and they'll not keep the butter next to it, so that a person can just take bread and butter and leave. No, they'll keep the bread in one side and they'll keep the butter in the other side. And in between, they will keep so many other things which will lure a person and they will end up falling into the shopping cart. And when you go on the counter, you thought that you had to purchase only 100 rupees stuff, but you ended up buying 2000 rupees stuff, which you don't need. So that is how the modern society is working. Technically speaking, if you're a student of economics, you'll agree that more or less, I'm putting it into blunt statements, that if you're using the same thing for the last 5 years or so, then you're not contributing to the gross domestic product or the GDP of the country. In fact, to very nicely contribute to the GDP of the country, you have to be typically dissatisfied and keep changing your product every 10 years or every 5 years. In fact, those who have worked in product-based organizations, they will know that most of the products are designed in such a way that it will stop working in the 2 years. So that why the GDP of the country will grow. So basically, if you are typically dissatisfied and frustrated, you are an ideal candidate to increase the GDP of the country. I'm putting it in very blunt words, but that's the reality. And this is 180 degree of the Vedic culture. In Vedic culture, people were living on the platform of satisfaction. I saw my grandfather using the same Bajaj Chetak scooter for many, many years. As long as I was at my home, I used to see that. And I'll tell you how the scooter stopped working. In my teenage, I used to take out that scooter and go here and there, and I did 2-3 accidents. And when the scooter became useless and was of no use, then my grandfather sold it off to the kabadi wala. And after that, he said, I don't need a scooter anymore. I'm anyways old. Wherever I have to go, either your dad will take me or else I'll take an auto or else you will take me like that. So for his entire life, he just stuck to one scooter, Bajaj Chetak. I'm not promoting Bajaj Chetak. I'm just saying that this is the platform of satisfaction, contentment. But unfortunately, in the present generation, such a person will be looked upon as a non-productive resident of the country who is not contributing to the GDP. So this is all happening on the platform of mind. Simply the mind is being exposed to various things, and the mind, when it gets exposed to these things, the mind develops desires to have it, and these desires are endless. There's a shloka in the Bhagavad Gita which says, Dhyayato Vishya Pumsan Sangaspesho Pajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama Kamat Krodho Vijayate. I had explained to you the process of fall down, how the person starts meditating on a sense object and then it develops attachment. This attachment becomes lust, and then this lust leads to loss of memory, and this loss of memory leads to a loss of intelligence and bewilderment, and the person falls down from their spiritual position. So that is happening. So my question, the point which I'm trying to make here is, the mind is this is the society, this is the Kali Yuga. In the previous yugas, this was not the case. The mind was not so much exposed to unnecessary things. So therefore, people were more peaceful and their happiness quotient was more. One of my friends was telling me that 50 years ago, presently, the amount of advertisements which we see in one day is more than what a person saw or heard of in 50 years of their lifetime 50 years ago, in their entire lifetime 50 years ago. So that was the situation. And the moment he was showing a graph and he was showing that the moment all this consumerism and everything has boomed up in the last 50 years, there has been a significant drop in the happiness quotient of the people. All that people do is they go to work and then they come home, they eat and they shop, they go to work, they shop, they become frustrated and then they go to shop and then they go to work and they go to shop and then they go to work. That is the cycle which he was explaining me, consumerism cycle. And how this consumerism is being fueled because they are seeing advertisements, and in those advertisements, it is being told to them that you are not good, you are not happy, you are not beautiful, you are not this, you are not that. Basically, everybody is being filled up with crap, and they buy that crap. They watch TV, they go to work, they shop, they watch TV, they go to work, they shop, and then their life is in this vicious cycle. So bottom line, just by getting exposed to things, mind develops the desire to have it. So we have to be very careful how to expose mind to what. But in most cases, 99% cases, it's not in our control. So what to do? Therefore, Arjuna is also telling, Chanchalam hi manah Krishna pramathi balavadridham tasyaham nigraham manye vayur eva sadushkaram. The mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. See the adjectives which Arjuna is using. The mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. O Krishna. And to subdue it, I think, is more difficult than controlling the wind. So Arjuna actually gave this proposal that Krishna, you are asking me to control my mind. If you tell me I will shoot an arrow and I will control the movement of the rivers and the movement of the air in this battlefield, but it's very difficult for me to control the mind. Now, who is telling this? Arjuna is telling this. He is not an ordinary mortal. He is the eternal associate of God. He is the friend of Krishna. So he's not an ordinary person. If he is telling like this, of course, he is playing a role. Being a pure devotee of Krishna and being an eternal associate of Krishna, Arjuna never had such problems. Just like in a talk show, if a doctor goes, then the host asks so many questions related to the diseases. That doesn't mean that the host is having those diseases. The host is asking on behalf of the people. So Arjuna was asking these questions on behalf of the people of Kali Yuga. Or let's say Krishna wanted Arjuna to ask these questions. So he was asking, he was doing a role play of a confused person. This is the commentary of the Acharyas. Otherwise, how is it possible that a pure devotee of Krishna, a person who is always thinking of Krishna and never forgetting Krishna, how is it possible that they will be subject to illusion? It's not possible. Until unless Krishna wants to use his pure devotees as an instrument to give a lesson to all the members or the people of the mankind, the human society. So Arjuna is speaking like this. I can control the wind, but I cannot control the mind. Arjuna was known for his mind control, focus, concentration, also sense control. Nobody was very few people were as sense controlled as Arjuna. So if people having knowledge, people having sense control, people having focus, concentration, are finding it difficult, then it is but obvious that, as I said in the beginning of the session, mind control is a subject matter which concerns everybody without any exception. So the point which I'm trying to make here is that there is an urgent need to control the mind, or rather there is an urgent need to learn how to control the mind. If we don't do this, if we just simply eat, drink, sleep, and be merry, And if you just try to go on with life with the attitude of it's my life and I'm very open and I'll take whatever it comes, and no guidance from the scriptures, no guidance from Guru and Sadhu and Shastra, I'll just live a life on my own whims and fancies, my own mental speculations, then we are in for trouble. So much trouble, so much trouble, so much trouble that we will not even accept in front of others that, yes, I'm in trouble. That is our pitiable state of existence. So at this point of time, I have a question for all of you. How many of you feel that, yes, there is an urgent need to control the mind? If not, then I am in trouble. Please take 30 seconds to cast your vote. If you control your mind, the mind is your best friend. If you don't control, it is your worst enemy. If you think that it is okay to stay with your enemy all the time, then you can cast your vote. But if you feel that, yes, I want to stay in the association of a friend, somebody who cooperates with me, somebody who listens to me, somebody who helps me progress in my journey back home, back to Godhead, then you have to cast your vote accordingly. Take another 5 seconds. Somehow I see in all the sessions, only 80% people only give their vote. 20% very respectfully reserve their votes. Okay, I end the polling and I share the results with all of you. It's there on your screen. 97% of you feel that, yes, there is an urgent, critical need to control the mind or to learn how to control the mind. So this session is definitely for all of you. And for those who somehow beg to disagree with me, please continue hearing. Probably your opinion will change as we progress. So, what does this stupid mind want? So, just for the sake of some interaction, because I feel sometimes monotonous in this online environment to speak so much. So I'll open the chat box here. Everyone can chat publicly. What do you think the mind wants? Please give us your opinion. Whatever you think the mind wants, type it out here. The mind wants material desires, peace, thoughts, happiness, sense gratification, pleasure, momentary satisfaction. Very interesting. Mind needs to be free of ego. Mind wants illusion. Mind wants to be confused, sense gratification, ever changing. Very good. Freedom. Wow, it's moving so fast, I'm not able to catch up. Satisfaction, enjoyment, happiness, stability, never-ending desires to be happy, peace, happiness, everything which is unnecessary, the mind wants. Okay, quite interesting. Clarity of thoughts, control over you. Okay, control, I think you mean our own selves, control on us. Okay, seek knowledge. Mind wants to seek knowledge. Interesting. Whatever it wants, it is endless. It is never satisfied. That's true. Instant gratification. Very good. That's why food like fast food are very famous. Contentment. Mind wants God. Anil Pathak. Thank you very much for this wonderful answer. Peace. Reality. And so on. And the list is endless. But most of it is, mind is like monkey, somebody is saying. But most of the answers are moving around happiness and peace. Happiness and peace. So I'm closing the poll now. Thank you very much. So yes, mind wants peace and happiness. That's what the mind wants. The mind wants to be happy. And the mind is actually struggling and moving like a monkey from here and there in search for happiness. It is crazily looking for happiness. The mind is all the time looking for happiness. And it is endeavoring so much, but it is not able to become happy. Instead, it keeps driving us crazy. Mind is constantly on the go, trying to make us happy. Please listen to me very, very carefully. Mind is constantly on the go, trying to make us happy, but it ends up making us not happy. It keeps giving us ideas of becoming happy. We are just sitting somewhere chanting our japa, and immediately the mind will propose, let's do this. You'll become very, very happy. And then we say, very good idea. And then we put our japa bag aside, and then we go into that dark tunnel of mind from where we never come back. So many times this has happened to me also. The mind will distract. The mind will give us vikalp. First we take a sankalp that every day I will chant these many fixed number of rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I do it for 1 day or 2 days. After 2 days only the mind will give me vikalp. I had taken sankalpa, and then after 2 days the mind will give vikalp. Let's see, almost you have chanted for 2 days. That is enough. You have already become a pure devotee. You are an acharya now. You can skip this chanting at least for today and do something else. What this chanting Hare Krishna all the time? These kind of arguments the mind will give. So the mind does not like sankalpa. Sometimes the mind takes sankalpa, which is a sentimental sankalpa, and then immediately starts giving vikalp. And it gives so many ideas to become happy. But when we pursue those ideas in the hope of getting happiness, either we get momentary or temporary happiness, or else most of the cases, very rarely we get temporary happiness. Most of the cases we end up into further entanglement and further miseries. I repeat, the mind will keep us giving ideas showing that if you do this you'll become happy, if you get that you'll become happy, if you buy that you'll become happy, if you do this XYZ you'll become. So when we try to pursue those material desires, we end up becoming crazy. Prabhupada says in his lectures that everybody in this material world is crazy. It's just that somebody is less crazy and somebody is more crazy. So mind is driving us crazy. So at this point of time, based on the experiences which you have had in life, I ask a question to you. Does your mind also give you ever-changing ideas of becoming happy, but when you pursue it, you don't find lasting happiness? Yes or no? The nature of the mind, as you cast your vote, please keep parallelly listening to me. The nature of the mind is to be always be dissatisfied and always be unhappy in every situation. That is the nature of the mind. I'm just summarizing. I think I just summarized the whole session. The nature of the mind is to be always ever-changing, dissatisfied and unhappy in every situation. However, when the mind proposes that if you achieve this, then you will become perfectly happily ever after. But when you go and achieve that situation or existence, the mind will again become dissatisfied, unhappy, and it will again hanker for more. So my question is, does this happen to you too? Please take another 5 to 10 seconds and cast your vote. Okay, thank you for your votes. The results are as follows. 95% of you feel that, yes, the mind is always ever changing and dissatisfied, unhappy, proposing different ideas. But actually, when we pursue those ideas, we don't become happy. The answer for this, why we don't become happy, is because probably the idea of the mind of becoming happy, that idea itself is wrong. So let's now try to see what is the mind's idea of happiness. Exploitation, accumulation, supplying the needs of the senses, and association with the opposite gender. I've just tried to put it down very bluntly, what makes the mind happy in general. For a conditioned living entity, for a conditioned mind, a mind which is not trained in the principles of Bhagavad Gita and the principles of spiritual life, and the mind which has not trained itself in the transcendental sound vibration of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The mind which has not absorbed this transcendental sound vibration, such a mind will always be very happy to exploit others. And that is what is happening. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a prediction. There is a chapter called Predictions of the Age of Kali Yuga. So even before Kali Yuga began, so many things were being told about Kali Yuga already. There are in the Bhagavatam, there is already, even before the Kali Yuga began, there were predictions of personalities like Chanakya, personalities like Ashok, personalities like Gautam Buddha, and so many other things were being foretold. In that chapter, it is foretold that when the Kali Yuga will begin, the average lifespan of people will be 100 years. And towards the end of Kali Yuga, people will live maximum for 16 years. Their heights will reduce because of the sinful activities which will progress in Kali Yuga. There will be no rain and there will be no food to eat. That is the horrible predictions. One of the predictions is that people will be forced to work more, and they will be levied with heavy taxes also. A point will come when the governments will exact or extract 90% of the salary as taxes. Then people will run away and start living in the mountains and other places, feeding on leaves and seeds. All these predictions are given actually. And we are very soon approaching towards it. There is already some black market in different parts of the world where human flesh is being sold. Can you just imagine? Humans are being killed and that flesh is being served. There is a black market. I know, I'm aware of it, that such kind of a black market exists in some parts of the world. So that is the time, towards the end of Kali Yuga, all knowledge will be lost, all dharma will be lost. I will eat you and you will eat me. That will be the situation. So at that point of time, another incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead called Kalki will come. And at that time, no Bhagavad Gita, no discussion, no preaching. He will simply come and sweep off. He will kill in millions this fully degraded population of the planet. And once he kills everybody, then the air which is touching his body, carrying the fragrant aroma of body of Hari or Kalki, will spread all over the planet. And then again, the Satyuga will start. And then again, things will continue. So that's a very, very big pastime altogether. Someday I will discuss it. But that is the prediction. So exploitation is increasing rampantly. I am seeing even in this lockdown, people are forced to work more on the threat that their job will be lost, and at the same time they are being paid peanuts. Nobody gets paid for the extra time. That is exploitation. Somebody's mind somewhere is becoming very happy to exploit, and everybody is being exploited. And because I am getting exploited, so I'll exploit the people below me. If something goes wrong, I'll put it on them. If something goes right, then I'll take the credit. That's going on. Accumulation. Even the small ant wants to accumulate. What to speak of human beings? So like I said, everybody in this material world is crazy. Somebody is less crazy, somebody is more crazy. So mind becomes very happy when it accumulates. We don't need it, but we want to keep it. Why? Because we want to enjoy that. We don't want to offer it in the service of Krishna. We want to enjoy. And that is why people keep accumulating more and more and more and more, thinking that if I accumulate a little bit more, if I get a little bit more better paying job, if I get a little bit better house, if I get a little bit this, a little bit that little bit never ends. It becomes little, and our life becomes little for our accumulations. So the core of this tendency is we want to enjoy and exploit and gratify our own senses. That is why we are in this game of exploitation and accumulation. However, if we somehow develop this desire, if we dovetail our consciousness into Krishna consciousness, then We don't want to accumulate. We'll have a simple living and a high thinking lifestyle where we know that these things which I'm trying to accumulate, these elephants which I'm trying to accumulate, will not save me at the time of death. My relatives will not save me at the time of death. My social prestige will not save me at the time of death. Definitely, my money cannot buy me one extra second. My degree will not help me. My bank balance, my property will not help me. My gun will not help me. So the only thing which will help me is the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And I have to serve the devotees of Krishna. Because if I have good relationship with the devotees of Krishna, if I live in their association, then probably, hopefully, when I'm quitting my body, they will come and they will remind me when my mind is fully perturbed, when my throat is choked, when my senses have stopped working, and when I'm getting a pain of 60,000 scorpions biting at the same time. At that time, if one pure-hearted, selfless devotee of Krishna walks into my house and keeps his comforting hand on my head and sings the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in my ears, that opens the door of liberation for me, because of his endeavor, I will be able to think of the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of Krishna at the time of death, which is the ticket back home, back to Godhead. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatya ante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kaunteya sada tadabhava bhavata. So that is the idea. So exploitation, accumulation will not help me. I'm trying to endlessly gratify my senses. Parikshit Maharaj was told that in 7 days you will die. And he was the king of the whole planet. But what did he do? He retired from all kingly duties. He retired from politics. He retired from family life. He retired from social life. He retired from everything. Just went and sat on the banks of Ganges with a desire to hear about Krishna. And 60,000 sages came there. And then Shukdev Goswami came there, and there started the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. If somebody comes to know that I am going to die in 7 days, then what they will do? Probably they will say, okay, I want to eat this, I want to get that. There's a very famous serial. I used to watch it when I was a student earlier in school. There was a series where this person came to know that he's going to die in 6 months. So he put so many things in his bucket list. I have to eat this, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to go this, I have to go there. And that serial was a big hit. And then somehow after 6 months, because the TRP was very high, so the doctors, they brought a twist in the story. They brought a medicine which increased his life for another 6 months. So for the next 6 months, again, the bucket list kept increasing. So this is stupidity. What is the responsibility of a person at the time of death? The responsibility of a person is Brahma Jigyasa. This human life is meant for coming out and going back home, back to Godhead. That is the purpose we have got this human body for. As I've explained, this material world is like an ocean of birth and death. The human form is like a very steady boat. The instructions of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and other scriptures are the favorable winds which move the sail of our boat. And the person who is in charge of the boat is the spiritual master. So having attained this human form of life, if one simply wastes it in supplying the needs of the senses, that's such a waste of time. And it is true, if somebody comes to know that they're going to die, they will want to eat all the things, they'll want to sleep so much, they'll want to enjoy so much. I had this desire, I didn't do, let me do this. I had that desire. This is how what to call, mand bhagya, mand mati, mand sumand mate. People are unfortunate, spiritually dull, less intelligent, and very slow and very bad. This is the characteristics of Kali Yuga. This is how the people of Kali Yuga are. They are very slow, very bad, or both. They are spiritually dull. That means they have no desire for spiritual emancipation or liberation and things like that. And they are unfortunate. Even if somebody has little bit desire, there are so many swindlers around who can cheat them. That is the nature of Kali Yuga. And lastly, association with the opposite gender. This is the ultimate trap. This is that, what do you call, the bait which keeps one continuously existing in this material world. The more we associate with the opposite, in fact, I'm very open to speak about this. Sometimes I'm criticized because they say that this is not normal to speak like this, but Shastra says this, Bhagavad Gita says this, Bhagavatam says this, the spiritual culture says this, and I have proof, I can show it to you. The more we associate with the opposite gender, the more our body consciousness increases. The more our body consciousness increases, the more we think about eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And the more we think about eating, sleeping, and mating and defending, the more we get astrayed or meandered or lured away from the path of Krishna consciousness, which is the central purpose of life. That is why sense control or brahmacharya, or even those people who are married, they should be grihast brahmacharis. That is the culture of India. That is the culture of the Sanatana Dharma. That even if I want to associate with my wife, it should not be for the purpose of sense enjoyment. I don't want to make my wife a prostitute. I will do the proper Garbdan Samskar. I will invite the saintly people in my house. I will request blessings from them that yes, I'm going to start the process of child creation and procreation. And it is not a secret. I'll take their blessings and I will make some attempts. And after that, as soon as the child is born, finished, enough. Why to get involved in this endless cycle of itching, it's like an itching all the time. So even the association, the Bhagavatam says, even if a husband associates with the wife without any restriction, I always keep saying illicit sex life is banned. But even within the bounds of marriage, if we endlessly enjoy our spouses, that is leading to so many problems. One gets deviated from the path of spiritual life. This is the culture of, even 100 years ago, this was the, if a husband and wife would walk hand in hand together, the elders would say, Dekho, what kind of a culture this is? I gave the example that how Tulsidas, who was the author of Ramcharitmanas, his wife went to her brother's house for 6 months. He went to meet her. The society was telling, look at this so-called Goswami. 6 months also he cannot stay without his wife. So that is our spiritual heritage. The spiritual heritage is such that it is designed in such a way that one does not get distracted from the central purpose of life. And it is a fact, I can write it to you in writing and give it to you, that the more you associate with opposite gender, the more you lose the sight of Krishna consciousness. One should associate with the opposite gender only when they are lawfully married, first thing. Second thing, as much as possible, they should associate only for the purpose of procreation. That is the standard. Now, I know in Kali Yuga, we may not be at that standard, but we have to try to reach to that standard. So that is Krishna consciousness. That is the verdict of the acharyas and the sages and everybody. In fact, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am this, I am that in the 10th chapter. One of the statements which Krishna makes is, I am sex life, which is not against the religious principles. So in Krishna consciousness, we don't say that you don't engage in sexual activity. We don't say that. We say that if you want to engage in sexual activity, two things you need to remember. It should be as per the religious principles. That means whatever the acharyas, guru, sadhu, and shastra have said, you please do that. If you want to produce 100 children, please mate with your wife 100 times, no problem. But you should have the capacity to make all your 100 children Krishna conscious. Because the Bhagavatam says, if a king, or if a father, or if a mother, or if a spiritual master, or if a demigod, if these 5 categories of people, if they do not have the capacity to deliver their dependents and subordinates from the cycle of birth and death, then they have no right to become a king, a spiritual master, a father, or a mother, or a demigod. This is the version of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, we have to, if that is the case, then we have to limit our association with the opposite gender so that we can focus more on the essential principles of life. I'm sorry if somebody feels bad or offended about it, but this is the reality. This is what I've heard from Srila Prabhupada. You can go and verify it. This is what I've heard from Bhagavatam. This is what the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says it very clearly in the Bhagavad Gita. And I'm just presenting it as it is. So this is the mind's idea of happiness. Exploitation, accumulation, supply the needs of the senses, association with the opposite gender. And because of these, the goals of our life are wrongly set. What are these wrongly set goals of life? Basically, whatever the mind is hearing, it is believing. The kind of association which we have, the kind of things which we hear, we make our goals according to that. The kind of stuff which you are hearing in this Gita course, and if you wouldn't have heard such things before, then you wouldn't have thought on these lines. That what Bhagavad Gita says and what is the actual principles of life. What does it mean to be knowledge? What does it mean to be sense controlled? What does it mean to be a devotee? We didn't know. But now that we are in such kind of an association, we are hearing, so maybe our goals will change. But mostly we don't get to hear. What do we get to hear? We get to hear from the television. We get to hear from the materialistic people. And what will they speak? They will speak only what is being shown in the radio and in the television. So mind frames the goals based on what it hears. The mind says, make money. That person has so much money. His Facebook profile picture looks so happy. So yes, if I also get money, I'll also become happy. Father says, there is a category of students called DBPS. Do because Papa said. So if we are DBPS people, so the father will say, okay, you become that. If you become that, you will also become happy. But sometimes even parents, they fail to understand what is the nature of the child, what is the desire of the child, and how to properly guide the child. Child may have stupid desires also. So most of the parents, they don't know what it means to be a parent. I have seen terrible parents in my counseling career. I'll tell you. There are some people who just shouldn't become parents, but they have become parents. And whenever they come for counseling, they will say, we want only good things for our child, but child doesn't listen to us. First of all, we have to become good parents, ideal parents. We don't know what it means to be a parent. We don't know how to bring up a child. Our mind is like a pig. And therefore, the child which we have given birth is a reflection of our mind, because we didn't do any Gardhan Samskar. And now when another pig has come in the family, what do you expect? And you don't know how to bring up a child also. So what do you expect? So I'm speaking out of experience. I'm just venting out my pain, because I do so many counseling sessions and I see people's life getting wasted because somebody is just stuck to some artificial principle that my parents did this to me. I'm trying to do the same without understanding the nature of my child. My child doesn't listen to me. So I'm telling him to become an engineer, but he doesn't want to become an engineer. His life will be wasted. So this is how the goals are being set. One of the cases, I'm very sad to report that this boy, he got so much pressure from his parents that he committed suicide. Why? Because father and mother used to think that this is the ideal thing to do. And this child wasn't able to do. So he just slit his hands. So unfortunately, such things are happening. And I don't blame the child also. And I just don't blame the parents also. The real problem is these wrongly set goals. I repeat, it's not the fault of the child, not the fault of the parents. The goals are being wrongly set. This is a misdirected civilization. Whose fault it is? I would say it is the agents of Kali Yuga who are at fault. And Kali Yuga is acting through various agents. How does Kali Yuga work? Kali Yuga goes and corrupts the mind of a person sitting in the parliament. And then they will present a law like killing of cows is valid. And then that creates a chain of sinful reactions. And then so many other people get implicated in that. And so it's a very vicious cycle. No one knows where it starts or where it ends. People say, achieve that, you will become happy. Buy this product, you will become happy. People tell this, ads are telling that. And so because of this, we have wrongly set goals in our life. The mind's idea of happiness is wrong. This is a misdirected civilization. And therefore, even if the mind proposes so many things, and even if we try to pursue each and everything, which first of all is wrong, the Bhagavad Gita says that one should not fulfill the desires of the mind, but they should listen to the intelligence, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So even if we fulfill all the desires of the mind, still we will not be happy because the mind has the wrong ideas of happiness, especially the materialistic mind. So we have to hear from the right sources. We don't have to hear from the advertisements, televisions, and the other free advice gurus here and there. We have to hear from the right sources, such as the Bhagavad Gita, such as the Bhagavatam, such as the Acharyas like Srila Prabhupada, and so on and so forth. So at this point of time, after speaking a little bit, I have a question from you. How many of you feel that if you had also heard from the right sources like the Bhagavad Gita and the Acharyas, life wouldn't have been so miserable? This question is on your screen. Please cast your vote. We are suffering because the mind has wrongly set goals, because we have heard and we have believed in wrong facts, incorrect facts, first of all. And had we heard from the right sources like the Bhagavad Gita and Acharyas, life would have been much simpler. Please take another 30 seconds. Take another 5 seconds, please. I'll close the voting. Okay, we close the voting. The results are, as it is seen on your screen, 97% of the people feel that yes, from childhood, we are being brainwashed by the television, by the materialistic society, by the materialistic education system. And therefore, we have made wrong goals. And what is the proof? In Hindi, they say, Haath kangan ko aarsi kya? So what is the proof that these goals are wrong? The proof is that even after religiously, sincerely, meticulously pursuing these goals, we do not become happy. The satisfaction of the core of the heart is not achieved. So this is the proof that these goals are wrong. So I continue my discussion. I'm just trying to make a very, very important point, and in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to conclude. So just hang on and try to absorb what has been explained today. Our minds and our brains have become so much filled with unwanted things that we literally have to wash it now. This shloka of Bhagavad Gita makes it very clear. Ye hi samparshja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate adya antvanta tu kaunte adya antvanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. Bhagavad Gita 5.22. Ideally, the shlokas which we discuss, one should note it down, and then one should go to vedabase.com and read the purports of these shlokas. Because I am just presenting a digest of these shlokas, but there are so many jewels and tips for personal application on a daily basis which are embedded in these shlokas. So what does the Bhagavad Gita say? Please listen very, very carefully. An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery which are due to the contact with material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end. So the wise man does not delight in them. A wise man knows that I don't have a beginning and an end. I am eternal. I am the spirit soul. So the things which make me happy And such kind of happiness which is coming out of the with contact with the material senses. Few things which I see makes me happy, few things which I hear makes me happy, few things which I eat makes me happy. So these happiness have a beginning and an end. But I, as a spirit soul, I am Anandamaya Abhyasat. I am meant to be eternally happy all the time, blissful, eternal, and full of knowledge. That is my original constitutional position. So if I am eternal, then how can I ever become happy with a source of so-called pleasure which has a beginning and an end? So therefore, the Bhagavad Gita says an intelligent person does not take part. And Bhagavad Gita says such sources of so-called happiness is actually source of misery. Dukkha yonaya evate. This so-called advertisement which is luring me, it is dukkha. Because it is born out of contact with material senses. Ye hi samparsh jab hoga. And it has a beginning and an end. Adya antavant kante. Na te shuramate buddha. If I am intelligent, if I am a buddha, if I am an intelligent person, I will not take part in these. I am a spiritual person and I am anchored in spiritual life. I will go for the sublime happiness, the higher happiness. I will chant Hare Krishna and be happy. I'll read the Bhagavad Gita and I'll be happy. I'll take Krishna Prasad and I'll be happy. I'll find my happiness in serving the devotees of Krishna. I'll find my happiness in giving gifts and taking gifts from the devotees of Krishna. I'll find my happiness in giving prasad and taking prasad from the devotees of Krishna. I'll find my happiness in revealing my mind in confidence to the devotees of Krishna and asking questions submissively from them and having confidential discussions. These are my exchanges of love and happiness and not this. So, in previous session, I had explained the difference between mind and intelligence. Mind works on likes and dislikes. It does not process what is good, what is bad, what should be done, what should not be done. Whether I'm diabetic or not, mind will say, just gulp in this gulab jamun and take another 15 more. That is mind. But intelligence means one should not do this because these will be the implications if you do this. So we have to make our intelligence strong. But somehow or the other, instead of the intelligence, the mind has become the master. Now, I will just try to conclude by saying the hierarchical existence of mind, intelligence, and everything. Third chapter again. So my presentation of Bhagavad Gita is very thematic. Some people are giving, requesting that we should go verse by verse, chapter by chapter. Now, as far as understanding the Bhagavad Gita is concerned, I feel that, especially in the beginning, the Bhagavad Gita should be presented thematically. I take a particular theme like mind control regulated lifestyle. And in my study of Bhagavad Gita, I find verses spread all across Bhagavad Gita which are in this theme. I just bring them all together and I present one particular theme. I don't necessarily go chapter by chapter, shloka by shloka, because my job here is to create shraddha in the hearts of you. And also I want to further strengthen my own shraddha. So the goal of this Gita course, there are 9 stages of bhakti. Adav Shraddha, Bhajan Kriya, Sadhu Sangha, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, and Prema. So the Prema Bhakti is the highest stage of bhakti. So our job, my teacher, my spiritual master has given me a target that creates Shraddha in the hearts of all the people of Bangalore. The task which my spiritual master has given me, when my spiritual master, who is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, he came to Bangalore, he told, I have never seen a city like Bangalore because of 2 reasons. Number 1, people of Bangalore are very pious and educated. In all the other places where I have gone, either the people are pious and not educated, or they are educated and not pious. But somehow, Yadrichaya is the Sanskrit word he was using. Somehow the Bangalore is pious as well as educated. So of course, I know there are people outside Bangalore also attending these sessions, but Somehow my spiritual master gave me an order for Bangalore. So I'm just trying to present my his words. It is very instructive for people even staying outside Bangalore. So he said that people here are both pious and educated. And another observation which he made was the roads of Bangalore are very narrow. So there must be huge traffic jams. So I said, yes. So he said that means we need small centers all spread out across Bangalore, where people need not travel more than 5 to 6 kilometers, and they can come and take shelter in these spiritual oases, in these spiritual centers, where they can come and take shelter every weekend, and they can chant Hare Krishna and they can take prasad. So that was his vision, that to make Bangalore a Krishna conscious city. The same is valid for all other cities also. But this is the personal instruction which I got from my spiritual master. And I'm trying my best, although I don't have the qualification to do it, but I'm simply trying to make my spiritual master happy by simply trying to execute this. And in that process, I'm trying to present the Bhagavad Gita thematically, with a desire that all my students should have a firm conviction in the core of their hearts that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Bhakti Yoga, or the process of bhakti, is an irrevocable truth of life. If this much I can establish by the end of this Gita course, my job is done. I need not want you people to become scholars in Bhagavad Gita, and that is up to you if you want to study and become and quote verses after verses like this. I want people to become devotees, Shraddhavan devotees. I don't want scholars in my class. Because these scholars also sometimes, scholarship is a later process. Scholarship is not a criteria to go back home, back to Godhead. Krishna doesn't see how many slokas this person knows. Krishna sees what is the Shraddha which one has for their Guru, for Krishna, for the process which has been highlighted here. So therefore, I present the Bhagavad Gita thematically and not sloka by sloka, chapter by chapter. So therefore, I have now jumped into the third chapter. And there it is being said, the working senses are superior to dull matter. This is dull matter. These are the working senses. Eyes, ears, nose, knowledge acquiring senses, working senses, touch, and all those. So these senses are superior to dull matter. Mind is higher than senses. So mind is the seat or the platform where these senses play. So mind is higher than the senses. Intelligence is still higher than the mind. And he, the spirit soul, that is the real me, is even higher than intelligence. So Krishna explains this fundamental structure or hierarchy. So ideally, if there is a person higher than the lower, then this higher person should control the lower person. Then the things are proper. Suppose if you sit in a cab, you book a cab and you sit in a cab and you tell the cab driver to take you to, let's say, some place X. But the cab driver says, no, I will not take you to place X. You pay me the money, but I'll take you to Y. And that is a very abnormal, unnatural situation. X, the driver should be controlled by the passenger. Then only the situation is normal. If you are sitting in a chariot, the place where the charioteer should drive is the place where the person sitting behind the passenger has asked for. So similarly, if intelligence is higher than the mind, then the natural situation is that the intelligence should control the mind and not vice versa. And whom should the intelligence be controlled by? The soul. I found a similar verse in a book called as Katha Upanishad. Atmanam rathinam vidhi shariram ratham evacha buddhim tu sarathim vidhi manah paragraham evacha indriyani haya ahur vishayam steshu gocharan atmendriya mano yuktam bhoktetya ahur manishinaha. This is the fundamental document of the human body. And now I have tried to present that in a picture as well as a definition. Simple, easy to grasp definition. The individual is the passenger in the car of the material body. This material body is compared to be a car. And intelligence is the driver. Mind is the driving instrument, and senses are the horses. The self is thus the enjoyer or the sufferer in association with mind and senses. So it is understood by the great thinkers, the Manishinaha. So now I will take a pen. I miss my blackboard. So here, this is the soul. So these senses you see, on each horse, one sense is shown. Eye, nose, ear, tongue, and all those things. So these are senses. And all these 5 horses, they want to run in different directions, in the direction of that particular sense object of the sense. The rope which is attached to all these horses is the mind, the driving instrument. The person holding the rope is the intelligence. If intelligence is not strong, then the mind, which is the seat of all senses, will simply be carried away in the direction in which the senses want to run. And then the chariot of the body, or the owner of this body, Dehi, we said Dehi no yasmin yatha dehe. So Dehi means the soul, the possessor of Deha. So this Dehi will meet with an accident. First of all, soul has to order the intelligence that I want to go back home, back to Godhead. And intelligence, by the process of chanting Hare Krishna and by the process of reading the scriptures, should become strong enough to control the mind. And when the mind is strongly controlled under the jurisdiction of intelligence, the senses will automatically come under control. This is natural. So basically, we have to chant Hare Krishna. That gives us the spiritual strength. By using this spiritual strength, we have to read scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. The spiritual strength combined with the favorable winds or the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they make the intelligence strong. And then this intelligence is able to subdue the mind, slap the mind 100 times with a broom in the morning and 100 times with a shoe before going to sleep. We should slap our mind. Never trust the mind. Never give mind any freedom. Ignore the mind. Presently, the materialistic minds deserves that kind of a treatment. And in this way, the mind has to be fully brought under control by the process of chanting Hare Krishna, by the process of associating with devotees of Krishna, by the process of reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and by the process of eating Krishna Prasad also. Krishna Prasad is very important. I'm telling you, do not ignore it. Anybody who simply is eating outside here and there, this restaurant, that restaurant, they'll find it very difficult to focus in Krishna consciousness, because food contains the consciousness of the person who is cooking it. Why do we say that the khichdi which my mother makes is the tastiest khichdi in the world? Why? Because the mother cooks it with love and affection, which this cook in this restaurant does not have for you. If this cook in this restaurant is a thief in the night and a cook in the daytime, or let's say is a terrorist or a rapist, with that consciousness, if he's cooking some khichdi, if you eat that khichdi, then you will also get ideas of theft and dacoity if you continue to eat there in that same place all the time. So therefore, we should eat Krishna Prasad. So do not ignore Krishna Prasad also. So ideally, the soul should chant Hare Krishna, guide the intelligence with spiritual potency. Intelligence should take instruction from the soul and the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and other things. And intelligence should control the mind, subdue the mind, and then the mind should control the senses. And then the chariot of this body will take the soul back home, back to Godhead. Are you all with me till now? Because I've been speaking for quite some time. If you're with me, please raise your hand. So I just like to conclude by saying that the mind should be controlled by the intelligence, and intelligence should be controlled by the soul. Scriptures specifically. Okay, please lower your hands. I have concluded today's session a little bit earlier, so I'm now moving towards the practical tip of the day. The practical tip of the day is hear from the right source. Spiritual life begins with Shravanam. The 9 angas of bhakti are Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pad Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pad Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. These are 9 processes of bhakti. It begins with Shravanam. Spiritual life begins with hearing. The more we hear, the more fixed up we will become. So therefore I say, the more you attend these sessions, the more fixed up you will become. The more, last week I had shared one small 5-minute, 6-minute, I think, 5 to 6 minutes lecture of Srila Prabhupada. The more, in fact, this week onwards, I'll try to share a little more lectures of Srila Prabhupada. The more you hear from the acharyas like Prabhupada, the more fixed up you will become. Simply by you just need to do 2 things. You just need to be chanting Hare Krishna and you need to be hearing. Simply by the process of hearing and chanting, you will go back home, back to God. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloker bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. The Srimad Bhagavatam says, simply by regular attendance in the classes of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, almost everything which is troublesome to the heart is destroyed simply by regular attendance and hearing those things. Simply if you sit like this, and if you hear the Bhagavad Gita discourses and Bhagavatam discourses, over a period of time, all the lust, greed, anger, illusion, enviousness, and attachments will leave you. And you will rejoice your original nature. Anander Sima Noi Niranand Dure Jai. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is written that once someone starts relishing the happiness of Krishna consciousness, there is no limit to this happiness, and all the unhappiness goes far, far away. That is why in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Raj Vidya, Raj Guhyam, Pavitram idam uttamam, Pratyakshva gamayam, Raj Vidya, Raj Guhyam, Pavitram idam uttamam, Pratyakshva gamayam dharmyam susukham kartum abhyayam. So this process of devotion is susukham. Although it is a big secret, hidden in plain sight. Raj Vidya, Raj Guhyam, most confidential. Pavitram, most pure knowledge, king of all knowledge. That's why that chapter is called as Raj Vidya, king of education. Susukham kartum abhyayam. This process of Krishna consciousness is very joyfully performed. That's why I keep saying, chant Krishna and be happy. It's a very joyful process. Shravanam. Simply if you start hearing from the right source, the mind will no longer have wrongly set goals. And therefore, the mind will not try to propose to get happiness in places where there is misery. Adya antvant tu kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. An intelligent man does not engage in sources of misery which look like sources of pleasure, because these temporary happinesses, they have a beginning and an end. So the mind will get the right goals simply by Shravanam. Parikshit Maharaj went back home, back to Godhead in just 7 days, just by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam attentively. Same can be your destination. Someone may say, Prabhuji, I don't have a desire to come to the classes. I feel very lazy, lethargic. What is the solution? I know that Shravanam will help me, but I don't want to hear Prabhupada's lectures. What should I do? In such a case, it is recommended serve the devotees of Krishna. Because if these devotees of Krishna, they are having this desire to hear very nicely. If we serve such people, and if they become pleased with us, then we also get that desire. There is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam which says this. I'm just trying to remember that verse. Shushusho shraddhadhanasya vasudeva katharuchi syan mahat sevaya vipra punya tirth nishevana. If I just serve the selfless devotees of Krishna, then I will get taste, ruchi, in hearing Harikatha. So that is the statement of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we have to do that. Spiritual life begins with Shravanam. I am repeating again and again. Spiritual life begins with Shravanam. So hear from the Acharyas, hear from Srila Prabhupada. And then he read the Bhagavad Gita. If your hearing is happening nicely, then your chanting and your reading, everything will happen very nicely. Simply, if you hear nicely, you can read nicely, you can chant nicely. And when you will chant nicely, you'll get the spiritual potencies. So you'll be able to follow the 4 regulative principles. Let not the ever demanding and ever dissatisfied mind ruin you. Engage your mind in the service of Krishna, devotees of Krishna, and become peaceful. So this is the practical tip of the day. Number 1, hear the lectures of Srila Prabhupada and regularly attend these Gita courses. Number 2, read the Bhagavad Gita. Number 3, chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day without fail. Number 4, try your best to follow the 4 regulative principles. Surrender to Krishna and end all the miseries of life. Don't listen to your mind. Control your mind with your intelligence. Intelligence becomes strong by reading scriptures and by hearing Krishna Katha, Krishna Nam. And then engage your mind, because empty mind is a devil's workshop. What to do? So engage your mind in services. All the time keep thinking, what can I do to take this message of Bhagavad Gita to someone else? What can I do to expand this preaching mission? What can I do so that I can hear more? What can I do so that I can chant more? In this way, engage your mind, cook something nice for Krishna, decorate your home altar nicely for Krishna. If you're a photographer, take nice photographs of Krishna. Somehow engage your mind. Sometimes in the initial stages, we need guidance how to engage the mind. So for that, we have to take shelter of a guide, mentor, guru, whatever you call. So under the guidance of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, we have to be constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness. Why? Because the nectar of instruction or Upadeshamrit says, Sarvopadhi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchyate. Give up all these material designations that I am engineer, I am doctor. When I say give up, I don't mean that you stop doing your job. I say that stop thinking like you are an engineer or a doctor or a father or a mother or a chief minister or a prime minister or a man or a woman, Australian, Indian, cat, dog. Stop thinking about yourself as these things. These are material designations. Therefore, what to do? You have to start thinking yourself as a spirit soul. Jivera Swarup Hai Krishnera Nityadas. I am a spirit soul and my eternal constitutional position is to be a servant, loving servant of Krishna. If I cooperate in his enjoyment, because he is the Purusha, he is the enjoyer. If I simply cooperate in his enjoyment, then I will truly get core satisfaction of my heart. That is my position. That is my position. So, Sarvopadhi Vinirmuktam. Get rid of all these material designations. Stop thinking of yourself like a district collector or a magistrate. No. High court judge. No. I am a servant of Krishna. Sarvopadhi Vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam. Then you will become nirmal. Rishikena rishikesha sevanam. Rishik means senses. Rishikesh means Krishna. So use your senses in the service of Krishna. If you have eyes, see the nice, beautiful darshan of Krishna. If you have ears, hear the Krishna Katha, which is the beginning of spiritual life. If you have the sense of smell, smell and flower. Offer some flowers to Krishna and then try to smell it. Offer some tulsi leaves to the lotus feet of Krishna and try to smell it. So in this way, engage all your senses under guidance in the service of Krishna. Then mind will become peaceful. I made a statement that mind always is unsatisfied and unhappy. Why? Because mind keeps looking for newer and newer things every moment. But we do not have the capacity to provide the mind for ever new, ever fresh, ever changing subject matters. Nobody has that capacity. But actually speaking, when we focus our mind on the lotus feet of Krishna or the pastimes of Krishna, these lotus feet pastimes, they are ever fresh, ever new. Nava Nava. One of the qualities of Krishna is Nava Nava. So that never ending rasa or mellow of being ever fresh and ever new, which the mind is actually hankering for. This desire of the mind can actually be satisfied when it takes shelter of the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of Krishna, because these names, forms, qualities, and pastimes are ever new, ever fresh. That is the actual solution for this mad mind. And this everything begins with Shravanam, hearing. So therefore, it is said, Kritayadhyayato Vishnum Tretayam Yajato Makhe Dvapare Paricharyayam Kalau Tadahari Kirtana. Whatever result was obtained in Satyuga by meditating on Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifices, and in Dwapar Yuga by serving his Lord's lotus feet, can be obtained in Kali Yuga simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I will see these, I'll say these points in every session because this is the element of Shraddha which I'm trying to drive. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Iti Shodashakam Nam Kali Kalmashanashanam Nata Parataropaya Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. Translation is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. These 16 names composed of 32 syllables are the only means to counteract the evil effects of Kali Yuga. In all Vedas, it is seen that to cross the ocean of nescience, there is no alternative to chanting of the holy name. So these evil effects which we are talking about is the meat eating, gambling, intoxication. Smoking also comes under intoxication, illicit sexual activities. So all these can be counteracted by just one single master stroke, and that is the chanting of Hare Krishna. All these sessions we are discussing so many concepts, so many important thematic compilations from the Bhagavad Gita, and I also like to quote some sources from Srimad Bhagavatam and other scriptures. All of this will work only if you chant. If somebody is just attending these sessions but not trying to sincerely chant fixed number of rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day, then these sessions will not be very, very fruitful. I've seen this in the past. Those students who actually took up this advice of chanting, they have progressed. And those who didn't, they continue to live in that whatever state of life in which they were in. So I make a sincere appeal to all of you to chant very sincerely every day. If possible in the morning, that's the best chanting. Before we conclude and chant one round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra today together, we will see the homework for this week. I hope that all of you are learning these or doing these homeworks and learning these shlokas. Every week we give one shloka to memorize. Only towards the end of the course you will know why I am saying to memorize all this. Those who are doing this, they will find a treasure towards the end. Those who are doing this, not doing this, they are really missing it out. Please learn. So this Bhagavad Gita shloka 6.6 is the homework for this week. The shloka which talks about mind is the best friend when it is controlled, and it is the worst enemy when it is not controlled. So every day try to recite this shloka. When you go for a walk, chant this shloka. When you are having a bath, you have bath in the transcendental sound vibration, realization and meaning of this shloka. That is real bath. When you are cutting vegetables, you chant this shloka. Whatever, you're driving, keep reciting these shlokas and you'll see your heart will change. A change of heart will happen. Answer the quiz positively. These quizzes, they are very important for easily brushing up the concept which have been covered. If you really want to remember these concepts and apply it in your life, it makes sense to revise these concepts immediately after the session by answering the quiz. And of course, Purushottam month, only 6 days are left, including today. If you include today, these are the last 6 days. So I recommend and request everybody to wake up early and join the MMC at least by 6 a.m. have bath, chant the names of the holy rivers such as Ganga 3 times while having a bath. That is equal to having a Ganga bath. Offer ghee lamp to Radha Krishna Vigraha deity or picture every day. Don't forget to do that. There is actually a mahatmya, a significance of doing these things. It is my desire that sometime I should explain to you what is the significance of offering a lamp to the Radha Krishna deities every day. Very soon I will explain you. Chant at least 2 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. Please, not less. You people have attended so many sessions. If you can sit for 2 hours in these sessions, you can definitely sit in one place for 15 minutes and chant. At least this much faith I have in my students. Read the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15 every day, at least for 10 minutes. Those who feel little lethargic, I can understand. Even I feel lethargy sometimes. So what I do, I go and sit with the devotees of Krishna and I read. Sometimes I make reading groups where many people, they come in one particular time. So my mind tells me, okay, you cannot ignore this. So many people are coming, you have to go. So I just go and sit there and I see, okay, they are reading such and such chapter of Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. And then we all read together. And in this way, this discipline is enforced. So make reading circles, reading groups within your family, within your society, within your friend circle, or within the students of the Bhagavad Gita course. If you want, we can make those groups and give you. You can all get together at some time, but we will not manage all that. Somebody has to take lead, and you can all get together and chant and read. If you can do that, it is very good. If somehow you're not able to do this, then we are providing an opportunity every day, 8:15 to 8:45. We are organizing the reading of the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita and the singing of Chaurashtikam. Participate in that. Simply, if you click the Zoom link joining button every day you will do this. At least for the last 6 days, you can do. This is the homework. And let's all chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 1 round. But before that, I want to just tell you what I'm going to cover next. In the next session, on the next Sunday, I will talk about how the mind works. I'll get into more important, relevant details. And then most importantly, I will give tips how to control the mind. I will give tips and what are the benefits of controlling the senses. And of course, I'm trying, and if I fail, then what to do, how to handle that situation. And again, I'll give another practical tip of the day. I tell you in advance, the next practical tip which I'm going to give has the potency of changing your entire life. It is such a funny and such a nicely presented practical tip. Whenever and wherever I present this, people just fall in love with this practical tip. So next session is going to be really, really special. It can immediately transform your life, so don't miss it. But however, as of now, I will stop sharing my screen and I will request all of you to turn on your videos and we will chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra 1 full round today because we have so much time left. As I said that I will cut down my sessions so that we can chant. So we will chant 1 round and then the session gets over. And for 10 minutes or so, I may take some questions. However, I have designated the Tuesdays as the official days for taking sessions because it is a little difficult to have both question answer and discussions in one session, especially when it is online and people are a little less patient and wanting to do so many other things. So let's chant. Everybody should have a bead bag and a bead and their Bhagavad Gita. If you don't have, please message me. I will send you the Razorpay link where you can place your order. Or else you can buy it on your own, going to the nearest ISKCON temple. Do whatever it takes, but have a Japmala and have a Bhagavad Gita as it is for yourself. So we'll chant 1 full round today. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. You can repeat with me. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara. Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So now we will chant in our own pace and we'll chant 1 full round. Okay. So generally my pace is like this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. So different people have different pace. Generally, when we chant, we should try to hear each and every syllable, each and every word of this mantra. We should not mix up Hare Hare or Krishna Krishna. Instead of saying Krishna, we should not try to say Kus Kus. So it's very important to try to, we are Indians, we are not some people who are not blessed with the ability to properly pronounce. So we should try to say it as clearly, as legibly, and try to hear each and every mantra. If you can hear one single mantra beginning from Hare, you are so fortunate. So with this, I would like to end today's discussion. Those who may want to leave, they may leave. It's 1 p.m. However, I have a small announcement to make. I have been informed by my associates that the following people have attended the mantra meditation circle sessions which we conduct in the evening, in the mornings. And I have a list of 120 people who have attended these sessions. So I just wanted to tell their names out. And if you're there in this session, you can please raise your hand Santosh Chandel, Vinita Dambal, Krishnamurti Dambal, Gita Manurkar, Deepmala Golani, Sanjeev Goyal, Preeti Pawar. If you're there in this session, raise your hand. Padmalata Kodru, Arpan Jha, Tirumangal Suresh, Prachi Parihar, Saxena, Gautami, Balaji Mohan, Aman Bansal, Abha Bansal, Saheli Dev, Prashant Pradhan, Avinash, Shweta Shudrik, Ravi Jandil, Rajshri Madhavan, Krishna Kumar, Jai Prakash Pandey, Varsha Gujarati, Mani Gopi, Vimal V, Vijayan, Chaitanya. So Vaishnavi, Jamdade, Siddharth Krishna, Nirmal Sinha, Deepti Kolishetty, Deepa Suresh, Ashwini Pusrala or Pusarla, Angala Parimeshwari, Uday Kulkarni, Nivedita Soneji, Sutapa, Subramanyam, Raj Gopalan, Charu, Anita, Sriram, Maumita, Subimal Shome, Shiva Satish, Vrinda, Venkat Krishnaiya, Shri Jayanti, Shashi Pandey, Priyanka, Nalini, Mohan, Deva Lakshmi, Devashish, Vijay Lakshmi, Swagat, Suresh, Seema, Sasmita, Sarojini, Nischint, Ishan, Hariram, Giribala, Dakshayani, Daksh Goyal, Chandrika Amarnath, Akash, Vivekanand, Sarvanan, Vinod Sankar, Vinita Mishra, Krishnamurti, Vijay Lakshmi Krishnamurti, Vidhi Kansal, Vibha Vyas, Vaishnavi Vijay, Vaidehi Rajpat, Vaidehi Raipat, Trupti Thakur, Tejasvi Pujari, Srinivas Ramakrishnan, Shrikant Guntupalli, Shrija, Deepa, Shivanand, Sindhu, Siddharth Krishnan, 2 times his name came, Sheetal, Shraddha, Selva Lakshmi, Sangeeta, Rajiv, Raj Champaneria, Praveen, Priya Jindal, Praveen Ravi, Prashop P, Prashant Chauni, Prachi Richa, Neeti, Nagesh, Milind, Mayank, Maya, Mati Rajiv, Manjunath, Manjula, Lata, Lakshmi, Lakshman, Kudru, Kirti, Jitendra Shaw, Hemant Kota, Harsh Singh, Harish Wadhi, Gaurisha, Gangadhar Rao, Ganesh Ram, Ganesh Acharya, Dhanashri Bapat, Abhijit Patra, and AN. These are the participants who have attended the mantra meditation sessions in the weekdays and also in the weekends. So I thank you. I see that you, out of the names which I said, many of you are here in this session. So thank you for being here. I'm very, very happy that you are regularly attending these sessions. I think the others may have left. No problem. But I thank you from the core of my heart. I see this as my success. If all of you can start chanting Hare Krishna, this is my success. This is my feast. So thank you very much for paying my fees to me. And I wish you all the best. And I pray for all of you from the core of my heart so that you can progress on this path of Krishna consciousness, the basis of which is chanting Hare Krishna. So with this, I end today's discussion. If anybody has any question, I'll take only 2 questions for the next 10 minutes. Please, you can, first of all lower your hands so that when you lower your hands, then I can do some activity. Okay, please lower your hands, everybody. Now, those who have questions, sorry, I by mistake asked someone to unmute. Don't unmute yourself. So I'm just requesting everybody to lower their hands. And now, whoever has any question can raise their hand and I will take a few questions now. This is just an extended activity, not a part of the session. So whoever has a doubt or whoever wants to add any comment or add something to the discussion which was already done, you can kindly raise your hand and I will request you to unmute yourself. So Sivani Praveen Kumar Nair, can you please
Yes, sir. It's Shivani.
Shivani. Okay.
So I'm an 11-year-old. So from LKG, I had a ring with me with a picture of Krishna. So now what I'm asking you is that is there anything else I can do to carry Krishna everywhere I go?
Shivani, you are 11 years old. You are very, very nice young student, I feel. And at this age, you want to carry Krishna with yourself, which is the right time and the right age to do and the right thing to do. Very good. Shivani, the best way in which you can carry Krishna with yourself in all places, all circumstances, at all time, is by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The name of Krishna is not different from Krishna. The moment you will say Krishna, you'll think of Krishna. So this is my suggestion.
Okay, thank you.
The ring is not permanent. It can be lost someday. A photo.
Yeah, I get it from the temple whenever I go to my native.
Very good. So the best thing to carry with you is Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Okay.
Suppose you are walking in a garden, if a tree hears you, or if an ant hears you, or if a bird hears you, or if a human being hears you, everybody gets benefited. So that's
Okay.
the best thing which you can carry on this. Thank you for that wonderful question.
You're welcome.
It has reminded me also that I should also always keep chanting Hare Krishna. Very good. Anybody else? You may not just ask a question, you can also add a point or share a realization or a reflection. A reflection means something which you really liked and you want to carry it with you after the session. You can also share some reflections. So if you have any reflections, you can also raise your hand. If you have any questions, you can also raise your hand. So I see Hiren Shah has, I request him to unmute himself and start his video. Hiren.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, are you visible to me?
Uh, are you able to see me?
1 second, I'm just trying to find you and spotlight you so that I'm able to see you and you are able to see me. 1 second. Hiren Shah, yes. 1 second.
Yeah. So I basically had a question that along with Bhakti Yoga, if we also follow the eightfold path of yoga, so is that fine? Like,
Okay, Hiren Shah. I think somewhere in the chat box, I had seen this question sometime earlier.
I
So
think I had
you
posted
have asked it. It was there on my mind. I knew that I have to answer it, but I was a little bit caught up in the other classes and the other services. I was not able to answer. So apologies for answering it a little late. But the answer to this question is eightfold yoga and bhakti yoga. Your question is it enough to do bhakti yoga or is it okay to do eightfold yoga along with bhakti yoga? That is the question, right?
yeah, is it okay to do both of them together? Like, yeah.
I'm just thinking of some very nice example which will nicely explain this to you. Bhakti yoga is like an elevator. It's like a lift. Let's say Krishna is at the 100th floor. And Bhakti Yoga is like a lift. You just get into the lift, press 100, chant Hare Krishna, and immediately reach Krishna. However, the eightfold yoga methods, which is basically yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahara, dharana, dhyan, samadhi, they are like the staircases. These staircases, they begin with yama and niyama. So you climb some 20, 30 stairs, then you are at the yama platform. Then you reach niyama. What does yama means? Yama means basically what you are supposed to do. Niyama means what you are not supposed to do. And then asanas. So you are doing all these yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahara, dhyarana, dhyana, samadhi only to come to the realization that the purpose of life is to focus on Krishna. So if you are supposed to go to the 100th floor and if you can go by an elevator, then why go by the staircases?
Right.
So if you are doing Bhakti Yoga, there is no need to do Ashtanga Yoga. However, if you are not convinced to do Bhakti Yoga, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanvan Mam Prapadyate Vasudevam Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. After many births, one gets that transcendental intelligence by which they understand Vasudevam Sarvamiti, that Krishna is everything. Bahunam Janmanam Ante, one who has true knowledge, Jnanvan Mam Prapadyate, he surrenders to Krishna. Vasudevam Sarvamiti, he starts thinking Krishna is everything. Sa Mahatma Sadurlabha. Such a great soul is very rare. Very rare. So now that you have come in the association of devotees, now that you are chanting Hare Krishna, now that you are in an elevator, why do you want to do that extra endeavor of again climbing the stairs? Let the less intelligent people do that. Does this answer your question?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I have been doing this eightfold path of yoga, following it since last 6 to 7 months, and I have started this Bhakti Yoga since 1 month. So from the last 1 month, I'm doing both of them together, like eightfold path as well as Bhakti Yoga. So that wouldn't be a harm,
why
right?
Why you do the eightfold path of yoga? What is the meaning of eightfold? First,
basically it helps me to it gives a lot of calmness to me. I've noticed that thing.
The Hare Krishna mantra can also give you that. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is perfectly capable of. See, what is samadhi? Samadhi means constant thought process. And a devotee, when he starts chanting Hare Krishna, he's just focusing on the samadhi. He's just focusing on the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So what the advanced Ashtanga yogis will achieve in many lifetimes, a devotee of Krishna can just achieve that. If you simply stand in front of the deity in the temple, in front of Radha and Krishna, and if you just chant Hare Krishna and little bit you dance in front of Krishna, or if you try to clean the temple hall listening to some lecture, that is samadhi. That is proper samadhi according to the definition. So see, if for the purpose of keeping good health you want to do pranayama and asanas and all those things, you can continue, there's no problem. Human body is like a boat, and one should take care of this boat so that one is able to fulfill their mission of going back home, back to God. So for the purpose of health, there is no problem in doing pranayama and asanas. But of course, nobody understands what's the meaning of pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So if for the purpose of health you want to do, you can do. But calmness of mind, all this can be simply achieved by waking up, having bath and chanting Hare Krishna. There's nothing more needed. In fact, Hare Krishna can offer you millions of times more what Ashtanga Yoga can offer you. Mm-hmm. People who have perfected Ashtanga Yoga, they can at most realize Krishna at the level of Paramatma. They can never come to the Bhagwan realization. But people who chant Hare Krishna, they can come to the Bhagwan realization. In the session number 8 of this Gita course, I will explain what are the various levels of understanding God, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. So in that, I will explain to you that which yoga ladder is limited to which stage. So therefore, you'll realize that Bhakti Yoga is the highest, and by chanting Hare Krishna, one can get all the knowledge. Krishna is the cause of all causes. If you know Krishna, you know everything. So that is as simple as that. So my answer to your question is if for the purpose of health, you want to do pranayam, asanas, and all these things, continue, no problem. But please have this deep understanding in the core of your heart that there is nothing higher or better than the Bhakti Yoga process. Thank you very much, Hiren Shah, for asking this wonderful question.
Thank you, Guruji.
Off my question bank, I don't need to answer this anymore. Okay. Anybody else wants to speak up, share something? Bhaskar Rao, I have never interacted with you, so I will request you to kindly, if possible, turn on your video. And if you can ask your question, Bhaskar Rao, are you there? Can I see you somewhere? Bhaskar, Bhaskar, are you there? Can you speak up at least?
Hello.
Hare Krishna.
Namaste, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Hare Krishna. My husband has gone out.
Okay.
I am listening to this. So, I felt the child who asked you a question just a few minutes ago, who was 11 years old, she asked you a question. How can I carry Krishna? Correct?
Yes.
Are you able to hear me, sir?
Yes, yes, Mataji, please.
See, I was very hard, touched by the child. At 11 years, she has got that bhakti and she has come to you. She is in this path of Krishna consciousness. I'm very happy about it. But I have a question to ask you. See, I have a daughter who was also doing like this, carrying God's photos, like everywhere. And she was really her own co-students used to make fun of her. So then she realized, okay, mommy, I will not carry it. I will think of God only in my mind. So now she doesn't carry anymore. She is a grown-up girl now. But she tells me it's always better not to, like people are not the same. You see, we are dealing with the normal life outside with correct. So is it good, or is it not better? Please let me know. To carry the thought of God and his form, or picture is seen by everybody, but if we keep a picture in our hearts, in our minds, it's not seen by anybody, but we can keep on carrying it everywhere. That is better.
Okay, good question by Mataji. How to deal with the peer pressure if we are chanting Hare Krishna or if we are
Yeah,
not with us all the time? So that is the question which is asked by Mataji.
correct.
This is an important topic actually, and there are many times it is seen that people are not able to deal with this kind of peer pressure. When I started practicing Krishna consciousness in the beginning, sometimes I used to go to the office with tilak put. So everybody used to laugh at me. But I had the conviction that no matter what the world says, I have to do. I was thinking that if somebody has a 3 BHK apartment, they can do whatever they want with that 3 BHK apartment. I have no business to go and say why you are doing something in your 3 BHK apartment. So this is similarly, this forehead is my 3 BHK apartment. So I can put whatever I want there. So with this way, I was trying to convince myself. Initially, of course, it is a little awkward, especially when somebody is a small child. They can be bullied by someone. They can be made fun of by someone. But the material world is like that, Mataji. This bullying and this making fun will never stop. We should not think that we are a child, so we should not do it. Later on, when we become adult, we may do it. No. I have some students who are 40 years old and who come and tell me that my neighbor makes fun of me when I chant Hare Krishna, or my in-laws, they make fun of me when I chant Hare Krishna. So these problems will there remain forever. And worst case, in some cases, our own family members become against it. Just like in case of Prahlad, his own father Hiranyakashipu wanted to murder his son because he was chanting Hare Krishna. So what I'm trying to say here is that we should make our children preachers. Our children should read the Bhagavad Gita and should have full conviction and full confidence that what they are doing is right. If they try to lead a dual life, in home they are doing something else, in outside they are doing something else, then it is very difficult. The conviction doesn't go deep. However, if we make our children strong, and if we promote them, encourage them to read the Bhagavad Gita, attend such sessions, and become equipped with logic and reasoning of what they are doing, why they are doing, then even when some anti-elements will come in front of them, they'll be either able to preach to them or they'll be able to ignore them. At least they will not run away. I repeat, if they are equipped with logic, reasoning, and proper preaching abilities by reading the books of Srila Prabhupada like Bhagavad Gita and also Bhagavatam, why not Bhagavatam? So when they will be faced with anti-elements who will make fun, then they'll be able to properly answer. And in that way, when a child becomes a preacher, then a child never leads dual life. I have seen so many children who are devotees who in school and college behave completely differently. And when they come home, they become completely differently. And I've seen over a period of time, they go away from Krishna consciousness also. However, those parents who taught their children to be preachers from a young age, they would preach to the fellow mates. And they would ignore the envious people who are not there to hear. They would just learn to ignore them. Because that always, whether you are a devotee of Krishna, whether you are not a devotee of Krishna, there will always be some people who have a bone to pick with you, who want to make fun of you, who want to disturb you, who want to harass you. So one needs to learn this art skill of life, of how to ignore the envious people and how to preach to the innocent class. And if someone becomes a preacher at a young age, and if they are able to present this philosophy of Bhagavad Gita with full conviction, that is the best thing which they can do to themselves and also to others. So I fully recommend that if your child wants to keep a shikha, let them keep a shikha. Let them go to school like that. Until unless the school throws them out, that's a different thing. So if your child wants to chant Hare Krishna, please don't stop. Anyways, your child is exposed with so much nonsense here and there. As a parent, sometimes we don't have problem with the nonsense which our children are exposed to, but we are very protective about they being exposed as devotees. Our society needs to see ideal devotees. That is how the Krishna consciousness will spread. When I would put the tilak and go to office, simply by seeing this tilak, people used to get reminded of Krishna. So without any speaking, without any doing anything, I was preaching. And sometimes people used to tell me, oh, see that Hare Krishna is walking there. So even when they are making fun of me, they are taking the name of Krishna. So I used to see this as an asset. So it depends on the perception with which you take it. The job of a preacher is not easy. Krishna says, amongst all the servants, the most dear to me is my preacher, one who preaches the science of Bhagavad Gita. Especially I recommend, not just for this case, but for all cases, children should be made into preachers, because if they will not be made into preachers, then they will be bullied outside. And if the child is not attracted by the beautiful personality of Krishna, then they will be attracted by the person who drives the bike in a wheeling way, or they will be attracted by the boy who picks up a nice fight with the professor and things like that. So all the crazy things will inspire them. So they are already inspired by all this Batman, Catman, this man, that man. But let them, I think we should not be so much protective for our children. This is my generic suggestion. I repeat, this is my generic suggestion. Okay, I'll take one more question. I hope that answered the question of Mataji, and the little girl also heard it. And now I'll talk to Vinita Dambal Mataji, because in previous session I couldn't talk to her. Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I just have an observation. When I was looking at your PowerPoint, you had the word happiness. And on that happiness, if you see the Scrabble count on that, the total was 16. So I just correlated to Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is 16 again, and that makes me happy. So that's my observation.
Thank you.
No question this time.
Thank you. I was really afraid when you were making that observation. I thought you would say that was wrong and this was the, I was like, okay, thank you for the observation.
No, it was just an observation, because 16 has stuck in my mind now after chanting every day. So it was just an observation. Thank you.
Yes. If Krishnamurti Prabhu is there with you, please inform.
Yeah, I'll call him.
I have received, please inform him that I have received his question. I'll answer it later. Okay.
Yeah, he's here. He just went inside. Yeah, he's coming. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to say that please inform him. I will answer his question later.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Krishnamurti Prabhu, I have received your question. I'll answer it shortly.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, sure. No problem. Yeah. Thank you so much. That was my observation only. No question from me this time.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we have 2 more hands left. Those who are enjoying this discussion can stay back. Let's talk to Sutapa Mataji, or let's talk to Balaji Prabhu. From a long time, he has raised his hand. So if you can just start speaking, Balaji Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So
let me
yeah.
add you to the spotlight. 1 second. Something happened to my grid view. It is floating now. Okay. Speaker view. Okay, let's get rid of this completely. No problem. Yes, Prabhu, go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So I definitely have started feeling now as if Krishna has held my hands now, and he started pulling also towards what is good. So morning I actually feel that someone comes and wakes me up and say go and do the chanting. And really from the depth of my heart, that's actually happening. Okay, my question is a very short one. So I heard you saying that the rounds of mala which we have to do, you normally say 2, 4, 6 like that. So should it only be in even numbers?
No,
Or
it
can
can
we
be odd
not
number
do
also.
odd also, right? Okay.
I just want people to chant more than one round, so I keep saying 2.
Okay.
But
So is 3 also okay sometimes,
you
right?
can chant 20,000 rounds, I'll be happy.
Okay. I started doing 4 now. I started with 1.
Very good.
Now it's 4.
Anybody who can chant sincerely 4 rounds every day can easily give up all past habits of non-vegetarian food and all those things. So this is
Hare
my
Krishna.
recommendation. Anybody who wants to get rid of non-vegetarian habits, please chant 4 rounds and then you'll see the magic. Thank you, Balaji Mohan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And last question is from whom? Who was the last person to ask? Sutapa Mataji. So Sutapa Mataji, can you please, where are you, Sutapa Mataji? Okay. Participants, is she there, Sutapa? Okay. Please unmute yourself and if you can start your video.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, you can hear me. Yeah,
Yes.
my question is regarding chanting only. Like I know you just now we chanted, right? You told that each person will the speed will be different, right? But since few days, what is happening? Like when we do a kirtan kind of thing, like full one round, it takes almost 45 to 50 minutes. It's like full devotional kind of atmosphere happens. But when it comes to japa kind of thing, people in my house, they are very restless. They are not getting that like it's very monotonous kind of thing they're telling, like mechanical kind of thing it's happening. But when it is like a music and it's like a kirtan kind of thing, they are enjoying it more. So is it that you chant one round in 50 minutes, or you chant 5 to 6 rounds in like the same time? I know you told that chanting more is beneficial, but I'm talking about that the devotional effect in the house.
Mataji, generally it is seen that if somebody is taking more than 7 to 8 minutes to chant one round, of course, when we begin, we chant in like 8-9 minutes one round. But it is recommended over a period of time to practice in such a way that you can chant in 7 to 8 minutes. Because if someone takes more than that, that means during chanting, their mind is wandering here and there. It is not a proper rhythmic chanting. As far as devotional atmosphere or devotional feeling is concerned, the highest pinnacle of devotion is there in chanting also. So it is not that kirtan is more beneficial or chanting is less beneficial. Both are names of Krishna. And the more names of Krishna you take, the better it is. Kirtan, you're saying it takes 45 minutes. If people are feeling restless in sitting for 10 minutes and chanting, how long do you think they will continue doing this 45-minute activity? I don't think so. So speaking practically, it is better to practice to sit in one place for 15 minutes and do that mechanical process, which is mechanical according to them, which they will slowly feel very relishable after some time, rather than making a habit of or making an expectation of sitting for 45 minutes and doing kirtan. It is not practical. If somebody cannot give 10 minutes, how can they give 45 minutes every day? So as far as devotion is concerned, japa is equally as devotional, in fact, more practical than a 45-minute kirtan, because sometimes we cannot do 45 minutes like that. Japa is highly recommended. Japa is the basis of Krishna consciousness. Kirtan is the expression of longing, the expression of the mood of separation from Krishna, that is kirtan. Glorification of Krishna is kirtan. My classes, they are kirtan. Book distribution of Bhagavad Gita is kirtan. Discussion of Bhagavad Gita shlokas is kirtan. So kirtan means the glorification of the Lord. When you do it alone, it is kirtan. When you sit with people and do it, it becomes sankirtan. And sankirtan is the process of this age. Japa is also kirtan. When you are doing kirtan loudly, it is called kirtan. When you are doing kirtan softly, it is called japa. So everything is glorification of the Lord. Okay? I hope this answers your question. And now I will end the session. Krishna Kumar, you can please send your question in some other format. Thank you very much for being so patient. And I see so many people are still there listening to this discussion. You all are very sincere people. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram.